What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And listen, I'm going to be continuing to show how to make Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 in Minecraft. This part, I think, 38 or 39. I also forgot to check now. And in this one, we are going to be starting off the statues area. We're going to be getting this hallway done and a lot of this room done. Mainly all of the layout and getting some of the details here done. Not really a ton. I'll show you the entire segment and what this is. Not that that particularly will matter a ton, but I might as well just, do it that way. This is statues itself. This will go up to water treatment, but will not include water treatment. So yeah, this room will be fun. I can't wait for that experience. This cave also here will not be block for block. I'll show you the tiles for it pretty much. You'll see when we get there. But I'll get all the important stuff down for the leg spacing. And yeah, this segment will end somewhere around here. It's like almost there. I swear, we're right there. It'll end in this room right here. And I will give you a peek at water treatment. Here's water treatment. Anyway, with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. There is a lot more to go. And we're back. Yippee, I guess. So you want to be back in the game station to start, and obviously you want to go to the statues door because, well, that's the only pathway that we have yet to do anything with. Now, I guess I'll talk about this area first just for a second. For those of you who are familiar, the end part does not loop. I'll explain where it went wrong for me because I do know exactly where and how you could potentially fix it. However, that does come with the fact that I don't know if it'll line up that way, so I wouldn't exactly recommend doing that, but it is an option and I will talk about it. I would like to fix it at some point, but it's not going to be done before this tutorial is at that point. Anyway, you want to start by getting out polished diorite, magenta terracotta, smooth quartz blocks, light blue concrete, purple concrete, crimson buttons, acacia wood, I guess, will be kind of useful, purple pillars, and finally, I suppose the old andesite walls will work. So if you are, again, at the statue's door, between these two rows of magenta terracotta, you want to be down a block and just place a little row of 3 polished diorite like so. Just so we know where the floor is. Since that's established. On both sides, you want to take the light blue concrete just outside of the magenta terracotta, and you want to extend it towards the open abyss, or backwards, by 15 with magenta terracotta, this bottom one. That was horrendous counting from me in my head. Those end magentas you'll bring in by 1, and then on the left you'll copy that again, so you'll go back by 15 and in by 1 from this outer row. But on the right side, it's different. You'll take this corner and you'll extend back with 8 magenta. Then beyond that on the floor, you'll place 2 sideways acacia wood. Back up diagonally back from that 8 magenta terracotta. And then you want to go back by, I want to say 4. And then left by 1, just to make sure we have all of our numbers right. Filling the floor of this in with polished diorite. A block below. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. Starting this, and also something else I'm going to probably be working on. I'll make a community post for members, because I don't really know when everything is happening. Technically, well, I don't think. I doubt it would release after this, to be honest, because members won't even get it immediately anyway. But yeah, you should end up with this. For both the inner magenta terracotta parts, the middle and back, I guess, you'll extend the magentas up by 3, these inner ones. And then up with 3 light blue concrete. The top light blue concretes will connect together, and then in either top corner from there, you'll place another light blue concrete going down. For the walls, we're just going to start by placing smooth quartz. We'll have to break a bunch of it, but that's fine because I would rather just, I think, fill it in first. But you'll place 5 rows of smooth quartz blocks on top of the magenta terracotta on either side. Where the acacia wood is, you'll connect the top 3 rows of smooth quartz. it'll leave you the 2x3 doorway, which should be consistent with what we've been doing for most of this build. Chapter 3, it changes. Not like really, but for play care, I'm using normal doors for the places, which is funny. Which also has made my play care a little bit smaller scaled than everything else, which isn't noticeable necessarily, but I can definitely like feel that it's a little bit different. I don't know. I don't think I would notice if I like wasn't using the normal doors, but the way I guess I've approached that has been different. Anyway, you should have this. As for that doorway, we can do a quick inventory, a little bit of a roulette, I guess. If you look at the door, just at the 2x3 door, at the right half of it, you'll place an andesite wall and extend it towards the open side by 1. You can get rid of that and get out diorite walls, in which you'll place 2 diorite walls on either andesite wall. You can then get rid of those and get out purple slabs. And head back to the front, where off of this row of like prismarine brick, you're placing a row of upside down purple slabs behind it just to cover up this cyan concrete. You could technically remove the cyan concrete and make it purple pillars, but it is visible, and it's I'll show you the row actually. It's this row right here. So, you know, I guess you could cover it with carpets. That's always a good option, but I just went with the half a block down. Anyway, the rest of the ceiling of this hallway will be in line with the top row of light blue concrete, and it will be purple pillars kind of going across like so. And yeah. Anything else funny to say as we do this? No, not really. So we have the area to the right, which we'll do first, obviously, and then statues will be fun, and then we'll work up to water treatment with this. I think I probably mentioned that in the intro. Either way, there you go. But yeah. Should give you this. And I like that texture. It is kind of a cool texture. I don't like the color particularly, but it's actually accurate fairly. Anyway, look to your left, I guess, yeah, to the left wall, whatever. And if you start from the top left-hand smooth quartz, if you're looking at it, you want to count down by 1. And I'm going to just say blocks, but you're going to do alternating purple concrete and light blue concrete, starting with purple here. So you're going to place 3 blocks going right from this. So it would be purple, light blue, purple. Then up diagonally right, right, down diagonally right, down, down diagonally right, right by 4, up diagonally right by 2, right 1, and then you'll skip to the other side of this pillar, and you'll place the same block here on this smooth quartz, which should be another purple, just because this would be a light blue on the wall. Actually, that lines up. I didn't realize that lined up. Anyway, from that, you'll then go down diagonally right by 2, right 2, up diagonally right, right, down diagonally right, right 2, up diagonally right, and up. And you should end on a light blue concrete. It's kind of important that you do, I guess. I mean, it's not going to destroy the build, but it is probably ideal that you do it that way. And yeah, that's one side. As for the other side, this one's a little bit more fun. Not really. So if you head back to the beginning, and again, you're looking at this time will be the, I guess, top right. I say top right smooth course, whatever. You'll count down 1 and you'll place the light blue. And then again, doing the alternating, you'll go down diagonally left 2, left, up diagonally left, left, up diagonally left, left 2, down diagonally left, left, down diagonally left, left 2. Darn, this side doesn't line up. You'll then skip over the pillar, and again, in the same spot, you'll place another purple on the opposite side, or whatever the block was. It should be purple. Left 1, up diagonally left 2, left 2, down diagonally left, left, up diagonally left, left 3, up diagonally left, and left. Nice. So, it's kind of weird, I guess, but how do I go about explaining this without exploding? So, we want crimson buttons on every side of almost every block. Now, before we do that, it might actually be smart to texture here. So you can, I guess, get rid of your acacia wood, purple pillars, and purple slabs. And get out calcite, light blue terracotta, and purple terracotta. So, essentially, You're doing the normal texturing. I won't do all of it. I'll just use a little bit of an example spot here. This one's good. And you want calcite going down, you know, it could be either 0, 1, or we're going to go all the way to 3. Now, if you decide you have a row and you, like, want the block below it, but it's a light blue or purple concrete or whatever, to be... Oh my god, my brain. To be, you know, weathered as well, you can turn this light blue concrete into a light blue terracotta, or this purple concrete into a purple terracotta, you know? And we're just doing pretty much a lot of that. And... yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It'll kind of give you this, and you see it'll make it, I guess, more dark. I don't know. And I would just recommend doing the whole hallway. Now, if you don't particularly care about that, obviously it doesn't matter. You do want mangrove buttons as well. I'll get rid of the calcite for it. And again, I'll just use this as the example spot. On either side, you do want the crimson buttons. The end part on this wall is a little bit weird, so leave those 2 blocks... like, I guess, open. Well, how do I explain it? I guess I can actually just show you. You are really just leaving these end 2 blocks open and literally placing crimson buttons off each side of the end block here. So it'll kind of give you that. But where you have calcite is for the weathering, like on this part, you see, you're going to place a mangrove button rather than a crimson button. So you see, like here, I'll do mangrove, mangrove, crimson, mangrove again, and yeah. That's pretty much what you want to do. And again, you want these feet going all the way around, and yeah. I feel like the texturing will definitely get more elaborate the further we go here. So far, it hasn't been much in play care because I've been just trying to actually survive having to do any of that. But so far in Chapter 3 overall, it's been somehow worse if you thought that was possible. Like, the texturing on this feels fairly moderate now that I'm building that. Anyway, we can do 2 more things with this set of materials. The floor texturing is light blue concrete and magenta terracotta. I wouldn't really care about multiple of the same color connecting this time because you only have 2 colors rather than 3. I have a couple spots where they do. If you don't like it, obviously that's fine. There's not really a tiled block, is there? That would work. I don't think so. I mean, light blue concrete, you have block at diamond, which is a little bit bright, but I don't think there's any... I guess, like, you could use a shulker box. Or even, I guess that's a little bit not purple enough. Like, shulker box legitimately might be the only option, but also they'll offload after a certain distance. So, like, I don't think it would necessarily matter that much, but, like, yeah, no, because you wouldn't see it from there. Maybe in statues, but, I mean, that's hard to say because of how everything works. Like, if you had an area up here, yeah, maybe they would unload, but... it's hitting you with all the variables, I guess. Anywho. Just beyond the pillar here on the right side, this magenta terracotta pillar. If you have buttons in your way here, just destroy them. But you want to place extending up behind it 3 light blue concrete. Extended back a row, and then extend both of those rows left a row each. The bottom back left light blue concrete can be brought back with a magenta terracotta. Up against the doorway to leave or go into statues, you'll place 2 magenta terracotta extending forward from this bottom one. Extend either one left by 1, and then each of those 4 up by 1 each. On the top back right magenta, you'll place a light blue concrete. Clear your inventory, and we're actually like almost done this hallway, and then we can move into the area I've maybe not want to do this for some reason, but you want to get out the following. Polished deep slate stairs, sea lanterns, spruce trapdoors, lightning rod, bamboo stair, bamboo trapdoor, and I think that's everything we need unless I'm missing something, but I shouldn't be. So we'll head back to the beginning area, and again, if you're in, I guess, the first segment, you want to look at the left side of this first door, I guess the middle doorway, and from it you want to count forward by 1 and place a bamboo stair facing forward. Off both the front and right of it, you'll place bamboo trapdoors, excuse me, open up against it. In front of that, I guess the first block you want a lightning rod, but you want the fat end of the lightning rod facing down, so I'm gonna actually redo this trapdoor so I can I can crawl under it, and then I'm gonna crouch and place it off of the button on the wall. I know that's not exactly the greatest method, but it's my method and it works. And I don't like the bamboo. No, the bamboo trapdoor has a handle. Really? Yeah, it does have a handle. Interesting. I'll flip it then. You are real. How are you real? Oh, I know it's a hinge, not a handle. What? That's weird. Anyway, yeah, it should look like that, regardless of questionable methods. So, I guess on the ceiling in this first part of the hallway, if you count from this light blue concrete in the very center, you'll count forward by 6. And place 3 sea lanterns extending forward, yes. Oh, you also need a cherry sign. I completely forgot about that, by the way. Not important yet, but you'll surround those sea lanterns and spruce trap doors open up against them. There is another light that we have to add. If you were to take the light blue concrete again and count backwards by 7 this time, you'll place 3 sea lanterns extending back, and again, spruce trap doors open up against each side. On the, like, very end light blue concrete on the PJ wall art, you're going to place a cherry sign. That's just his snout. Not particularly amazing, but it's the design I went with, so. The back doorway here, the top 3 rows of it, you'll make polished deep set stairs facing, I guess, forward? Yeah, I guess forward makes sense. I always go the way with the stairs that you would walk into the room. Or I guess the first way you would see it. So, like, you know, because you obviously come this way, you would see it that way. If you were to have started in statues, they'd be flipped. It's usually how I work with doors in general. Okay, it's time for the area that I hate. I don't know why I hate it. It's not even like it's bad. I just don't like it because it's annoying to make. You want to start by getting out the following. Stone. Cobbled deep slate walls. I almost just said stone again. I'm so smart. Polished basalt. Andesite. Andesite slabs. Andesite stairs. Cyan terracotta. Polished blackstone, and I guess that's all we can get. So, looking towards the 2x3 doorway, or just like, you know, in this general direction, if you count to the left of it to the second magenta over, you'll place a cobbled deep slate. And you want to... We're going to start by extending it, like, I guess, back with alternating blocks of cobbled deep slate walls and, well, blocks. And you want to go back with 9. So wall, block, wall, block, wall, block, wall, block, wall. And it should be 10 in total. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Nice. You'll place a stone below that final one and extend it to the right by 6. Which should be kind of like towards, almost towards the musical memory vent there. On this one, you'll place a polished basalt, and then you'll keep extending in that direction with... We'll start with a cobbled deep slate wall, and then from that wall, you're going to place 7, 8, 9. You're going to place 10 more of these alternating blocks and walls, and you should end on a wall. Beyond that, you want an upward-facing polished basalt. And then in front of it, you want a block, and you'll do alternating walls and blocks again until you hit the wall there with cobbled deep slate block. Nice. I guess that's my best way to explain this. It's kind of... It's annoying. That's, I guess, all you need to know. So, I don't have this number. Give me a sec. From this polished basalt here, you're going to go backward towards the nothingness, and you'll place a cobbled deep slate block. And in addition, from that, you'll do alternating with 14 walls and blocks. And you should end with a block, hopefully. Beyond that, you'll place an upward-facing polished basalt. Extend it down with a cyan terracotta. And extend that cyan terracotta left by 5. And on that end one, you want to place a cobbled deep slate wall. Both left and right of that, you'll place upward-facing polished basalt. One will overhang, one will not. And from that end, the leftmost polished basalt, you should go forward with a cobbled deep slate, and then you can do alternating walls and blocks again, and you should connect perfectly with the pattern like so. From this point, I think you're going to take both polished basalts. Yeah, and you want to go back from them with a block. These inner two here, which is going to be the continuation of the hallway. You'll then do alternating 5 walls and blocks. And you should end on a wall. Then an upward-facing polished basalt. Nice. From this point, you want to go left from this polished basalt with a block, and then from that block, you're doing 8 more. So wall, block, wall, block, wall, block, wall, block. And you should end on a block again. Hopefully the every other helps you count if you do need to as well. Here's like everything we have so far if you want to look at any number and try to count them to the best of your ability. I guess, because I know I've been doing it differently where normally I just say 9, but it's like 1 plus 8, which is 9. Left of this one anyway, you'll place an upward facing polished basalt at the end. From, again, both polished basalts, these end ones here, you're going to go back with a wall, block, and then a wall again. And then a polished basalt. Yeah, let's just lay out everything, I guess. I mean, we're kind of already there. Then from there, you're going to do, going back, a wall and a block again. Then 2 cyan terracotta. Then we'll just do a cobbled deep slate wall for the point. And then you'll keep going with 6 alternating blocks and walls. Which is 7 in total. I'm so bad at counting. And then you'll place an upward facing polished basalt at the end. Extend them towards each other with a singular cobbled deep slate block, and then you'll do, again, 3 alternating walls and blocks from there, which will end you on a wall. You'll then place a cyan terracotta, and with these we're going to do a little bit something different. You're going to bring them each up by 2 and connect them together. And that's the whole area. Now, how do we even split this up? Like, I don't think there's a good way to split this up. We can start with the first area because it's all fairly the same. So, we'll do the floor first, actually. This row of cyan terracotta here we placed in the floor. Everything behind this you're filling in the floor with cyan terracotta. It will include underneath the cobbled deep slate walls because you need to. And it will also include under the, like, or in between the cyan terracotta little arch we made because we're gonna need that anyway. So, you know. Because that's also gonna be walls. Not the same ones, but they're still walls. So. And I'm just gonna literally go under all the walls. That's so many walls. And it'll just be easier that way. And yeah. So much fun. The front area, the floor is stone, and again, you have to go under the walls and stuff and whatever. Just because you don't want any gaps. There's an area here, by the way, where we'll... I think we'll end up lining up with something, right? We did place that, yeah. Those 2 stone there will be kind of useful to help us mark, actually. I guess I never considered to use those. But now that I'm considering, I'm realizing that's actually a great idea I just came up with. I'm so smart. No, but... yeah, it'll help us mark the ceiling height because it's already something we know should be there and we preemptively placed in anticipation. It's always those little things. I guess I'm glad I made statues. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered that much because that's one step, and I'm glad I made statues before I actually did the game station in the tutorial, just because of that little part. Again, it wouldn't have necessarily been a huge deal. Anyway, you should have this. Now, where the floor changes, you want to find these polished basalt, and you can actually bring them up until they're pretty much in line with that. So, what is the number? Up by 9 is what you want. Just like so. from the bottom one, if you count up by, what are we counting up by, 7 or 6? We're counting up by 6 from this one. You'll place polished basalt going across, connecting them like so to give you a really elongated H. That should also give you 3 rows above. If you want to fill in above, the first 2 rows are fully cobbled deep set, and that top one is just stone. And again, you kind of see how that lines up nicely. If you take the... Okay. If you take the polished basalt there, this sideways row, in front of it you want stone for your ceiling. Now, you want to bring up the walls as you do this by... The walls in this area specifically up by, what is it, 5 probably? Yeah, up by 5, and again, you want the stone to go over the walls, but overall it should give you everything you need, and I'm assuming that is... Yes? Yeah, okay. I was like, wait a minute, is it actually stone over? Because I know later polished basalt is used in an area, but yeah. A whole lot of filling. My honestly plan, I think, right now is to just get this area laid out. And then, I guess get some pipes in since we have the stuff for it. But I guess it's not a huge deal either way. I don't know. The plan is to do whatever I want to do, as that one sound. I think we can agree on that. Maybe. And that's what one wall looks like, and just to kind of give you a rough up of the inside. Obviously, I'm not done, but, you know. Just kind of sure we're all on the same page. This is a really cool wall pattern. I do like the ridges it makes. Unfortunately, again, it's the bedrock change that makes it all look just a little bit weirder. Also, these walls, by the way, I won't probably mention it again because I won't remember, but you should probably back every single one of them, unfortunately, with some sort of a block. You can literally just slash fill behind the walls another row. That's generally what I ended up doing because it was easier. But, yeah, it'll, 1, give you more ridges to go with your walls, and will, 2, block any light from going in. Which here you shouldn't really be concerned about much, because you have the game station above you, so... That'll block a lot of light. Not all of it, because I think it goes far enough at points. Like, I think at the far side over here, it should be further, or far enough over. Yeah, it probably would. It's hard to tell, but I think it would be a little bit visible. Or shine a little bit of light through. Definitely in the day. Night, it might not be as noticeable. But I guess still, it might exist. Yeah. Oopsies. Oh, good lord. Oh my, what is going on? I'm gonna try my, actually, no, never mind. That other spot is still open. But yeah, anyway, it should kind of give you this, and I'll show you in a sec. There we go. Should look like this. Nice. Now, as for the rest of this area, we have the ceiling height there, which is always a good first step. Now, you want to... Basically, we're going to take the cyan terracotta, these rows of 2 here, and you're going to bring them up to whatever the height is. I think it's 9 up? Yeah, it's 9 cyan terracotta up on top of these rows of 2 on either side. I'm not going to tell you to fill in the ceiling yet, but do bring the walls, like, I guess between the 2 segments up to that height. It's smart to not really worry about the... Or it's wise to not worry about the ceiling yet, because we don't know the exact wall positioning. Darn it. Man. First mistake I've ever made in this game. It's a joke. That is very obviously a joke. You'd be surprised. Anyway. Almost there. Surely, except we have an entire wall which turns here. I don't have anything to, like, talk about. We're definitely starting to, like, get there, though, which is really exciting. I don't know what part number it is. I just realized. I have absolutely no idea. That's fine, surely. I would have said it in the intro. I just won't be able to say it in the outro because I don't know, so... You just have to... I might just make a guess, honestly, an educated guess. I know we're somewhere in, like, the 30s. Anyway, it should look like this as of right now. If you take the outer row of cyan terracotta, which is the one closest to where I'm standing right now, you want to take the fourth cyan terracotta up on both sides and connect them together with polished basalt, just facing sideways. Starting from either side, it doesn't matter which one, you're gonna start with a cobbled deep slate wall and do alternating blocks and walls. And these will also be brought up to the same height as the cyan terracotta, which would be an additional 5 up? Yeah. And that'll close off another area. Kind of. I mean, you know, I guess it does close it off. There's just something that I didn't account for. That makes it sound like I just didn't realize it was there. No, I realize it's there. It just, there's no real good way to do it. So, one more step to consider. On the... We're going to look at the left wall. So if you were just to walk into this area and turn to the left, you want to take the third row of the wall down here, and you're going to replace all of the non-polished basalt blocks with sideways polished basalt. And it should look like this. In addition, in the same, like, spot, the third block down, you want to take this polished basalt pillar, the one that's just in the middle of the room, and do the same thing, bringing it across. Except you don't want to break anything, you just want to kind of go through the sky. Sure. And that cobbled deep slate block there, I kept cobbled deep slate, rather, but you can change it if you so choose. And then the other wall doesn't have anything on it, so... Or none of the other ones, I guess. From this point... What do I think is the logical next step? Okay, so we can fill in the ceiling with stone, actually. That would probably make the most sense. Going on top of these walls again and just filling this part with stone. Then we'll just have the back part to do, and then we'll start decorating. We could totally start with the back here and work forward. The only thing is then, I know because it's probably, we're not going to have enough time to do it all, that would just be weird, I feel like. Although also we would be working back out and then would have the, frick. I would just immediately leave rather than, you know. Yeah, I guess it makes sense either way. I don't really know. We'll probably end up starting with the back just because. Yeah, it should look like this. As for the other area, these little walls here, each of the cobbled deep slate walls and blocks, can be brought up by 2. And that's really the only important thing on this step. And I guess the polished basalt in the corners should be brought up as well. Nice. I would place sideways polished basalt on top of these walls. I'll bring the regular polished basalt up, or these corners up, and then I'll just connect them together with sideways polished basalt along with forward into the cyan terracotta. Trust, there's a reason for this, I swear. From the front going back, you're going to take either the right or left, doesn't matter. You're going to do the following. You'll place a sideways polished basalt, 2 cyan terracotta, 2 polished basalt, and then 2 cyan terracotta, and you will drag these all the way across. And it'll give you this kind of striped ceiling almost. Don't really think that was the intention, but that's what it is, so. Nice. We have some areas of the floor we need to update. Starting with, well, it's all in this back area, I guess. You want to, the backmost 3 rows, technically. Yeah, no, I guess the back 3 rows. You want to replace the cyan terracotta with polished blackstone. That will include the row under the walls, by the way. That is the 3rd one. So it'll technically stick out by 2 from what is entirely visible. And yeah, I don't really necessarily have to worry that much about these. I'll just get the ones under the walls, but I won't really replace all of them. Nice. We'll come back to that in a sec because we don't have the material we need. The polished basalt pillar here on the left and right, you'll also do the same thing where you'll just break the cyan terracotta, connecting them and replace it with polished blackstone. Now, get rid of, I guess your cobble deep set and get out gray concrete powder, and the row in front of the polished black stone here will be gray concrete powder. You will obviously have to place a row under it a block, which I'll just do with stone. Because concrete powder is a little bit sneaky. Should look like this. Let's get all of the andesite pipes out of the way, shall we? So if we head forward to the, like, I guess the beginning of this area where it's like this 3-block hallway when the cyan terracotta started. Whoa, that looks weird. You want to, anyway, take the top left cobble deep set block, and you want to count down by 1 and place 3 upside down andesite slabs going back. Down a row, you'll do the same thing. On the right side, you'll take the top cobble deep set corner and you'll bring it back with andesite walls into your 3 beyond the polished basalt on, I guess, this polished basalt here. So 1, 2, 3, and you'll alternatively be a block before this next one. Then from there, you'll extend left with 6 andesite slabs. Go back diagonally left by 2, and then to the left of this one, you'll place an andesite stair facing right, like so. One thing I'm noticing is the lighting is horrendous. This spruce trap door on the one side is literally just a void right now. That's fantastic. How did they do this? Like, guys, how do we mess this up that bad? Anyway, top right hand corner at the back of this room, you'll take this cobble deep set wall and count it down by 2, and extending forward, you're gonna place 10 upside down andesite slabs. Below that a block, you'll do the same row, except you'll take 1 off of the front to make it a row of 9. Front being closest to where you leave this room, I guess, because that's really what I want to do right now. Anyway, those are the pipes in the back area there. The front area has a bunch, I think, that are... Okay, well, before we actually go to the front, though, get rid of... I really don't care, cyan terracotta, and get out andesite walls. And still in this area, if you take this upper wall, the bottom left wall here, you want to... I guess not the wall specifically. You're going to break 5 blocks extending right, and then another row up. And that whole 5x2 will be filled in with andesite walls. There's like a steel plate or something. I don't know what it's there for, but it's there. Counting forward or heading forward, you want to come to this corner of polished basalt on the right wall, which is this one. If you're on the stone to the left of it, you will count left an additional 1 and then back by 2 and place a row of andesite blocks going floor to ceiling. Behind that, you want a row of andesite walls. From the... We're going to head to the doorway and just beat to the stone right of it like so, this one. And from it, you want to count right by 4. And back by 1 and place a row of andesite going floor to ceiling again. Going back from, I guess out of the top 3 andesite, it'll be the 2 lower ones, not actually the top one. These 2 andesite, you'll just bring all the way back with andesite slabs until they hit the wall. Nice. From the original pillar, you'll go forward diagonally right and place an andesite block here. On top, an andesite stair facing left. Left of it, 2 andesite. Upside down stair facing left. And then you'll place 4 andesite on top, which would connect it into the ceiling. Still up against this wall going right, you will count right by 2 and place a row of andesite walls here. Back right-hand corner of this little area, which would be this corner here. Essentially, if you were to, walk in the room and just immediately head right, you'll be this corner here. And from it, you will count on this stone forward by 2 and place andesite going floor to ceiling. From that row, you'll count back diagonally left and do the same thing with andesite walls. Behind the top wall, you'll place an andesite slab, and below that, you'll place an upside-down andesite slab. And either of these will be brought right by, I guess, 1, and then all the way left until you run into another wall. It'll turn a slab into a block. That's fine. Ignore that entirely and just move on with your life, because it should do that. There's really no other way for those to connect, I guess. Yeah. Above the door, above the left half of the door, you want to take this light blue concrete and extend it back with andesite slabs until essentially you're going to have one where it again turns into a block because of this row going across. And then from that one, you'll place 2 more slabs going back. Couple more things before we end, because we're pretty much at that point. If you direct your attention to the front wall, you'll notice the little PJ has a gap here. You just want to place a light blue concrete instead of that smooth quartz. It's a gap because of this magenta terracotta on the opposite side. And yeah, it should give you that. As I mentioned, there's a little bit more I want to do, I think, at the far back of the room. So head back here, and you want to get out the following. Stone brick walls, block of emerald, redstone torch, and warped button. This area at the back, this little cyan terracotta arch, the top center will be a block of emerald with a warped button off the front. The rest of it will be stone brick walls. Those will be included in the walls where you have to coat the back of them, which again gives it ridges, more ridges, and also blocks any light from heading in. Is it directly opposite? No, it's not. But if you look to the other side here on this wall, it should be the middle of this row of 9. It'll be this couple deep slate block you replace with a block of emerald at eye level with a redstone torch off of it. A little bit more. I know we just got 4 materials and that would seem like an ending point, but I want to, I think, there's a little bit on the ceiling that we didn't really do. And I want to get the weird part over here in. So if you start by getting out, oh, okay, that's really cool. If you get out monster spawners, polished deep slate stairs, stone, pale oak trapdoors, polished deep slate, bamboo plank, polished blackstone button, block of redstone, and item frames. And we'll have, I think, one more set after this. So if you're still looking at this wall, you want to count up from the redstone torch to the 5th cobble deep slate up, which is this one. You should have 3 blocks above you. I'm actually going to count up one more, and I'm going to place 2 stone off this cobble deep slate. I'll extend it left and right a row, and I should also probably make the walls, well, in the wall, stone as well, because you can see that from the underside. I don't have this middle block filled in, and I'm not really sure why, but it's not, so. Extend each of those outer stones up by 2. Technically, you don't have to remove the walls from this point, because it's all sealed off, but. The bottom center stone here, you'll place a pale oak trapdoor open up again, so I have the handle facing down, but it doesn't matter. Underneath that, you'll place opposite on polished deep slate stairs, and they will extend left and right an additional 3. Bring the right 3 and left 3 walls back with monster spawners, and the middle will stay open. You can bring it across if you want. I don't really know what I was doing, to be honest here, but, you know. On the left side here, this first cobble deep slate wall, directly in the center, and it should be the center on both, you want to break, I guess, the wall above the middle monster spawner and replace it with, on the left, a polished deep slate, on the right, a bamboo plank. Each of them will have a polished blackstone button off of them. Directly above those, I guess, off the wall, so it'll be this stone, it's, I guess, up against it, technically, but I say off the wall because of this little, like, 1/8 of a block. You want to place a block of redstone in the ceiling with an item frame off the underside. You'll see me later, I think, do this with glow item frames instead, so it actually glows. These I didn't make glow, but you could do that with light blocks. A little bit more. I swear we're almost done. You want to get out now. Polished basalt. Levers. End rod. Oh, there was something. Oh, yeah. Pale oak fence. Dark oak fence gate. Bamboo fence gate. Cobbled deep slate slabs, which we'll use for blocks, and red sandstone walls. And that should be everything. So, the row of stone where these blocks of redstone are, the entire row going across, you're going to make polished basalt facing left to right. I guess on top of these is also important. Is that important? Yeah, it is important enough for me to go into crawl mode. I will do this from above just because I think it'll be easier for this particular part. But I'll only do it for this. Well, I probably shouldn't have made that edge, actually. I wouldn't go on top of the walls. My bad if you already did, but... I think it makes more sense to not. Let me get back in now. Because you want to bring those end ones that are outside also just, like, back. And I guess you're going to trim the entire point here, the, like, stone just inside with polished basalt. On at least this back rectangle portion. So I'm just going to kind of make a rectangle out of it, like so. I guess a border. It's like a painting picture frame. And it should look like that. From the block of redstone on either side, if you count towards you by 3, you'll place a dark oak fence gate on the left one and a bamboo fence gate on the right one from it. Either side of that, you'll place pale oak fences. 2 more things, I think? Well, okay, so... Off the center row of stone here on this little 3-block thing, you're going to break the row of stone on the ceiling and place polished basalt facing sideways. Just a row 4. In addition, on this little area, if you're heading kind of forward towards the exit of the room, if you count all the way to the last stone, you'll count back towards you by 1 and place 4 polished basalt in the ceiling and heading towards you. Of the end ones, you'll place levers which should be pointed towards each other, and then you can crouch place off them end rods, which should create a light. Should not have a lot of space there, so I went with that one. Heading back behind this polished blackstone line and looking towards the redstone torch. If you're on the polished blackstone in line with it, which is this one, you will count towards you by 2 and right by 1 and place a cobbled deep slate block with your slabs. From that block, you will count left by 5 and towards the polished blackstone by 1 and place another cobbled deep slate block. On top of either, you want 2 red sandstone walls and then a cobbled deep slate slab. And once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is Poppy Playtime Chapter 2, part whatever the frick it is. It's like 38, I think? Complete? 39 or 38. It's somewhere around there. Thank you also if you guys did enjoy this, or I apologize, that one also ran a little bit longer. I didn't realize I was going to take 5 more minutes. I thought it would be like a minute or 2, but I guess time is but a construct. It's alright. With that being said, though, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, I should have considered that it would have done that. I completely forgot to check. Sometimes I remember, but that's like once in a blue moon. Anyway, peace.